As this channel's still fairly new, I'm still experimenting with different video formats and whatnot, so this one's going to be a little bit different. It's not really going to be a video essay, it's going to be more of just a stream of consciousness as I give you my Tarantino ranking. So, let's get into it. Every great author has a voice, a signature. Something in the cadence, the structure. There's a soul to their work. You turn on one of their films and you immediately know. It's theirs. But Tarantino doesn't sign his name subtly. He signs in blood. And what's more so is he's never made a bad film. He hasn't even made a good one. They're all complete, singular, loud with life. Each a masterpiece in its own right. So, just hopping into the ranking here. At number 9, I have Django Unchained. Django is Tarantino's blood gospel, a revenge fantasy, and it's great. I think that DiCaprio, Samuel L. Jackson, and Jamie Foxx all could have won an Oscar for this movie. But for me, compared to Tarantino's other work, Django sings a little too clean. It's a little too produced. It's just not raw enough for me. And a filmography full of broken mirrors, this one feels like stained glass. At 8 is Death Proof, a meditation on predation and retribution. Psychologically, it's one of his darkest works, a film about the performance of masculinity and the violence men call fun. It's also a punk poem, rough, cheap, and defiant. The girls win, but not without becoming just as ruthless. The prey becomes predator, and that's the trap it shows us. Safety has a cost. I love Kurt Russell, and I think his performance in Death Proof is maybe one of the best of his career. At number 7, I have Pulp Fiction, and I know that may get me a lot of flack because that's a cult classic, and really the film that put Tarantino on the map. And I personally love Pulp Fiction. I've been influenced by it a lot in my own work. It's a holy relic of pop nihilism, but Tarantino makes violence charming, failure elegant, and he shows overdosing in a divine way. Its impact is fossilized and it's a victim of its own genius. And every rewatch, to me, it feels like it's more of an echo than a pause. At number 6, I have The Hateful Eight. This film unfolds like a chess match played with corpses. The snow, the silence, the slow descent into moral rot. The Hateful Eight is a brutal opera. It's a thesis on distrust. No one wants peace, they want punishment. Now we'll get into the top 5, and we're going to start with Englorious Bastards. This film weaponizes cinema. History is the canvas, and this movie is Tarantino's most ambitious lie, and his most beautiful truth. This isn't a war movie, it's a eulogy for the real world, a prayer that celluloid might burn away the horror. Shoshana doesn't just kill Nazis, but she reclaims authorship. The film asks a very specific question. Can we rewrite the past? And then it dares to answer yes. Tarantino uses this format 2 other times, I'd say softly in Django. He definitely repeats this again in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which we'll talk about in a little bit. At number 4 is Jackie Brown. To me, this is his warmest film, his slowest, his most human. It's about aging with style, loving without promise, and playing a long game when the clock is dying. Here, crime isn't a thrill, it's about survival. And Jackie, she's not really a heroine, but she's wholly human. Jackie Brown was my favorite of Tarantino's films for a long time, but I will say it's probably the most un-Tarantino. It screams Scorsese. At number 3 is a film that I think everyone loves, and that's Reservoir Dogs. Tarantino's debut doesn't waste a second. No frills, just a warehouse, a handful of men, and a slow unraveling. We all know it's a heist movie without a heist, because the real job here is stripping away ego. It asks the question, what happens when loyalty is performative? When toughness is a costume, a facade? Everyone's bleeding, lying, posturing, but what's left when the act breaks down? This isn't about finding the rat. I mean, it is, but it's also about exposing the fragility of truth. And then at number 2, I have Kill Bill, Volume 1 and 2, because Kill Bill to me is a single film. And Tarantino has also stated to him it's a single film. Myth meets memory, fury meets grace. Kill Bill is cinema as swordplay. It's stylized, serialized, soaked in heartbreak. The bride isn't just seeking revenge, she's shedding skin. Each duel peels back until there's only love left. I think the film at its core is about identity reclaimed through blood, and by the end, she's nameless no longer. I will say this is probably Tarantino's most beautiful film, his magnum opus, an epic. It topped my list for a long time, and it actually sat in my top 10 films of all time, not just Tarantino's. He's known for genre bending and highly stylized genre films in general. And in Kill Bill, we get a western, we get a kung fu movie, and an action movie, all wrapped into one beautiful journey. And at number 1, I have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I think this film hit me at the right time in my life. I was either 28 or had just turned 29 when I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's about memory, which is fragile and fading. And when you think back to certain things, you just want to be back in that moment. It's a cocktail of longing, regret, and nostalgia. And when I saw it, it hit a personal place for me. DiCaprio plays a man chasing relevance. Brad Pitt's Cliff Booth is probably my favorite character, and he's already a ghost haunting the city that made him. This isn't a climax, it's a sunset, warm, hazy, just out of reach. And the violence when it comes is absurd, gentle even. Tarantino rewinds the clock with this one, not just to change history, but to comfort the ones who lived it. A fairy tale, yeah, but one that knows it's lying and tells you the lie anyway. Because for once, we needed it to end well. And that's my list, Tarantino ranked. None of these are bad, none are even good. They're full-bodied, wild-eyed, majestic. Each film is its own magnum opus, even though I said Kill Bill was his magnum opus. Tarantino doesn't make movies, he makes art. This is just my ranking by resonance, by reflection. But if you shuffle the list tomorrow, I wouldn't argue. That's the beauty of the work. Every frame is a farewell. And if you like this stream of consciousness style more than the video essay style, let me know by liking the video and commenting. Thanks.